All right, welcome to this month's Top Shelf Spotlight. My name is Peter Nakamura, Product Marketing Manager, and with me is our Digital Ad Operations Manager, Rob LaGrave, here at Mercatus. Retail media is our topic today. It's getting a lot of attention this year, and even the last couple of years, there's been a lot of momentum around it. As I'm sure many of you have heard, it's grown into a $45 billion industry today. Walmart alone took home $3 billion of the retail media pie in 2022. And there's some reporting and analysis by McKinsey done showing that retail media can unlock approximately 2 to 4% of online sales and positive EBIT contribution. So lots of great reasons to invest in a retail media strategy. Lots of noise out there as well on what to do, what not to do. And that's why we have Rob here helping us out, kind of give us a little bit more direction for retail media strategy today in 2023. So we have 5 recommendations, and Rob's going to kick us off with the first one.
Awesome. Thanks, Peter. So the first step is for a retailer to evaluate their e-commerce traffic and order data. This is to get an understanding of advertising potential, revenue projections, and the ability to return on an advertiser's investment. So retailers should familiarize themselves with their overall site traffic, but then also break down that traffic based on various page types and environments. So firstly, detailing what percentage of traffic comes from web versus app, and then further breaking that down by page type. Once traffic data is understood, it's important to acknowledge the number of monthly e-commerce orders and the average value of those orders. So this information will indicate whether a retailer will be able to return on an advertiser's investment.
Yeah, and this is great. First recommendation for retailers out there that might not have a robust retail media program quite yet. Analyzing your existing traffic and data really valuable as you bring it to the table with potential brand partners who might be interested. So that's great. Rob, jumping into number 2, what's your next recommendation?
Exactly, Peter. So I think the next step is to use the information gathered to determine the right retail media solution. If traffic and order volume is great enough, a retailer may choose to build their own proprietary retail media network, which obviously can be quite costly and take a lot of time. But for most regional retailers, the best bet here is to find a plug and play solution with their e-commerce platform provider. So there's a few things to consider when choosing the correct retail media network to partner with. You always want to be looking at like brand coverage, the ad types they offer, and the functionality of those ads. Not to mention national budgets versus regional budgets that they acquire, and then the lift required from the retailer.
Those are some great criteria, Rob. If you are in this process of choosing the right retail media solution, is there one criteria that you would prioritize over another?
I think it would be most likely lift required because it really depends on the size of the retailer's team that's going to be participating in the retail media solution. You want to look into how much lift is the network going to be doing versus how much lift is going to be put on the retailer themselves. Things like will the network be actively selling to national budgets, regional budgets from those brands? Does the network collect those funds, or is that left up to the retailer? And then lastly, like, is that network committed to regular touch points with the retailer so that they can stimulate growth and ensure success within the solution?
Yeah, no, all great questions to consider as you're looking at the right partner. And yeah, for maybe smaller regional grocers, really thinking hard about lift required, especially if you don't have that in-house capability yet, is really important. Let's jump into number 3.
Yeah, so number 3 is really related to the app environment. So when choosing a retail media network, it is important to ensure they're leveraging both web and app environments. Based on Mercatus client data, between 40 and 70% of e-commerce orders are coming through the app environment. So this represents massive growth for traffic and orders in the last few years, which makes it especially important that retailers today are capitalizing on ad space in both environments to ensure maximum return on advertising revenue.
I was actually pretty surprised that that stat right there that you mentioned, 40 to 70% of e-commerce sales were coming from mobile alone. So lots of eyeballs there, lots of activity too, which is a great place for CPG brands to be. So don't discount your mobile traffic. It's a really valuable part. And when you're talking to brands, making sure web and mobile are part of the package that you offer is a critical part. Let's jump into number 4.
So number four, the next step is for a retailer to build and hone their in-house expertise. They can do this by engaging directly with brands on marketing opportunities and working towards an omni-channel experience. So the more advertising opportunities a retailer has available, the easier it will be to align marketing calendars for both in-store and online campaigns. So through this, retailers want to start thinking about placements that they can manage through their e-commerce platform CMS. Um, and once retail media is live on site, regional reps will be eager to participate and they'll be reaching out to the retailer directly. Now, retailers may want to just direct those leads towards the retail media network, but they may also want to have some inventory available that they can manage and capitalize on themselves. It's a great way to earn additional revenue and strengthen those brand relationships.
That's great. Rob, we're lucky to have you at Mercatus being our digital ad operations manager. And I know you play a critical role in educating our clients with, retail media strategy. So if you don't have that internal expertise as a regional grocer, maybe having a partner who does have it and you can learn from them is a good way to build up that muscle at your company. Last but not least, let's jump into recommendation number 5.
So, recommendation number five would be for once a retailer enables their retail media solution, they'll want to monitor the following metrics as they'll indicate the success of the solution and they'll also point the retailer towards areas of improvement. And for me, I think those key metrics are number of advertised products, ad fulfillment rate, click through and conversion rates, as well as sales and sales value attributed to ads. And lastly, return on ad spend.
And Rob, just a follow up to that, if you were just starting up your retail media strategy, is there one that you would focus on? And then on the flip side, if you're more mature in this space, been operating a digital ads strategy for a while, is there something else you should be focusing on?
Yeah, well, right off the top, I think it's important to look at all of these metrics all the time. But when you're first starting out, I think looking at click through rate and conversion rate they're important. They'll give you a good feel of how your shoppers are interacting with the ads. How many shoppers are clicking on the ads? How many ads being delivered does it take to actually get a click? And then for conversion rate, what percentage of shoppers that clicked on an ad are actually completing a purchase of the product they clicked on? So I think looking at click-through rate and conversion rate are a great way for a retailer who recently launched their retail media solution to get an idea of how their shoppers are interacting with their ads. So how many clicks did the ads get, and how many shoppers that actually clicked on an ad end up converting and completing a purchase. When it comes to a retailer with a retail media network that's been running for a year or so, I think you really want to start looking at return on ad spend quite closely. Are advertisers making a return on their investment? Um, the brands will continue to invest as long as they're getting a return on ad spend. So if you're seeing that return on ad spend diminish, it may be an indicator that some of those brands won't be applying as big of budgets in the future.
Yeah, great. Great, all 5 recommendations. Thank you so much, Rob, for sharing your insights with us. I hope this will be a helpful starting point for a lot of listeners checking out this video. We'll of course be back again for another Top Shelf Spotlight next month. But for now, thank you so much for being here, and see you soon.